We've got
Hey, I'm Luis.
And I'm FONZI.
You're listening to the Content is Profit podcast.
We spent the last 4 years learning the strategies and techniques from some of the top marketers in the world on how to create content that turns into profit.
If you'd like to learn more how to turn that content to profit, go to contentisprofit.com. There's a most surprise in there for you.
Oh, yeah. Guys, today we're so excited. We are here testing new things, going into new adventures.
Yes,
and we have
yes.
a lot of friends with us here today.
I know. We actually are having a legit live, obviously on Facebook, but also on this new app called Clubhouse.
Oh, yeah.
And if you are not in Clubhouse, let us know. There's plenty of friends with invites, and there's invite only for iPhone. And the experience has been completely insane.
Absolutely. And if you're on Facebook right now and you want to experience that and you have Clubhouse, the app, the room is called Content is Profit Live Recording. And we're testing this because we want to have our guests or future guests actually do Q&As after the regular episode. Very exciting.
That's going to be actually very exciting. We'll see. This is the first time hosting a room. Let's get right into it. We'll chat for about 5 minutes. So for those coming into the room, and we're going to reset this, right? Is that how people do it? They reset the rooms and explain the rules of the game. So we're basically going to chat, tell our experience for 5-10 minutes, and then we're going to actually open for Q&A. Everybody that's in the room and want to collaborate, not just Q&A. Let's share ideas. This is what it's all about. Collaboration, connection, and relationships.
Yeah, so we want to discuss people's experience in Clubhouse so far. What do they see where do they see this platform going? Where do they see themselves going with this platform?
So
and what are the best ways they found to utilize this platform at the moment? I think this sounds fire.
So good. Okay, so I'm actually gonna get started. I downloaded the app about 3 weeks ago, almost a month ago. We were actually in Orlando, and I see all these comments, Clubhouse everywhere, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what is this? Another, shiny object? Is it? Maybe we have people in the right here with us in the room that think it's a shiny object. Damon. Just saying. But, I honestly didn't know, really. And then I created my profile through an invite that I got somehow and left it there, right? And then 4 weeks later, literally everybody's talking about this thing. And I'm like, I have to go check it out. BIZBROS, one of our amazing partners, goes and is like, dude, it's like a 24/7 conference on steroids. And we're like, wow, that has to be very powerful, right?
Yep.
So dove in, and I haven't slept in the last 3 days.
Yeah, I heard about Clubhouse for the first time when we interview Reem, which actually her episode went live yesterday. So guys, if you haven't checked her out, go check her out because she is absolutely amazing. And she was talking about Clubhouse, and I was so confused as what is this, right? I have no idea. Yeah. So I downloaded the app, and next thing I know, I didn't even log in or anything. I was like, For me personally, when I saw the logo of the app, I was like, oh, this is very weird because it's the fact that it's just a picture.
Yeah.
I don't know why I related that to something totally different. I was like, I'm not even going to check it out. And then all of a sudden in social media, everybody was just talking about Clubhouse here. People pulling their screenshots of their Clubhouse profiles and all that stuff. And I was like, man, that is so interesting. But it wasn't actually until Pablo told us the benefit of it. Yeah. When he said, guys, this is how I'm planning to use the app, and this is the value that I see in the app. That's when I said, okay, I want to check it out now. I think it is interesting. So it wasn't until it came from someone very close to us that, of course, we respect and we love Reem, but that was the first time I was hearing about the app. But when Pablo told us and he said the big things that he could accomplish in the app, I was like, man, that is very interesting. I think the upside to it was huge at the moment. I was like, okay, let's check it out.
Yeah. So, we've seen a lot of descriptions like, networking on steroids, and we've seen these massive rooms with amazing people out there, people that, in another world, I guess, it would have been really, really challenging to connect with or to have a conversation with or to listen to, right? Like yesterday we were in a room and talking about buying versus growing businesses, and it brought a lot of perspective into this world. And, you don't know what you don't know, and it's incredible how your eyes can be open after listening to these conversations. Then we went to different rooms, different topics, not around marketing, not around content, not around the things that we do every single day. And the connections and the conversations was super high quality, right?
Yeah.
The flip side is that we're not sleeping. Legit, I went to bed at 2 a.m. The last 2 days, waking up at 6. Jerry, you should be super proud of me. And then my wife is like, "Oh my gosh, another app. Now I'm not gonna ever see you." And I'm like, "No, you can't see me. I just have my AirPods on, and it's okay. You can."
You can tell your wife, "Babe, now you can see me and you can hear me too."
I know.
If you go on Clubhouse and you go on Content is Profit live recorded.
I know. Full disclosure here, she does not listen to my episodes. She hates my radio voice, apparently. So it's okay. It's okay. I think some people here in the room do podcasts and have that. So I hope you don't relate to my negative experience on that sense. It's not too bad. Fonzie, what about your experience? I think we're going to share a little bit of yours, and then let's open the room for an open discussion.
Definitely, I haven't been as hooked as you have been.
Yeah.
I love the essence of the platform. I love the collaboration aspect of it. I love how egos don't really play a role in some of the rooms that we've been, because you can be right next to a Myron Golden and you are sharing the same stage as that person and nobody's feeling offended. Everybody's here to learn. I love that aspect of the platform. Now, I haven't been on it as much as you because I feel I love my time of solitude. I'm like, I just want to read and do something for
loser. No, well, sorry.
for myself, right? And I love that time. Yeah. And even though I love having conversations with other entrepreneurs and connecting, I think that's amazing too. But for me, I love my personal life. So I haven't been as much as you do in that way. Now, I do think I need to make an effort and come on the platform a little bit more often because this platform is picking traction so fast. Yeah. Like, people are going in like crazy. People are like, it's one of those platforms that you can not grow a following, but grow your network pretty quickly and build meaningful relationships. Yeah. And also it helps you drive traffic to whatever else from a marketing standpoint, whatever else you need, right? So if you have a funnel, you can send them there. If you have one of those new text funnels, you can send them there, text opt-ins. Yeah. So I think it is very valuable for driving traffic. And of course, speed is key right now, especially when an app like this opens up and still in beta. Yeah. So when they open up to everybody, I think this is going to be madness. People are going to go crazy.
Yeah, I can just imagine gamers going crazy and ballistic in their rooms here, screaming at each other like I did when we were playing FIFA that one time. No, it honestly has been such a great experience. I think we have some gamers in here. They're mic clapping. Is that the term?
Mic clapping. Yeah. We're going to have to ask them in just a second.
I know. So, oh man, so good, so fun. Now, okay, so objective, right, Fonzie? Because we talked about the episodes trying to broadcast in both sides. Will this be valuable? Let's ask the people here in the room. Now, I want to reset the conversation for those that just came in. I know there's been people here from the very beginning. What we'll do is we'll try to go in order as we brought you guys on stage. Claire, welcome to the room. We're excited. If you want to comment, ask any questions,
just raise the hand.
Just raise your
There's
hand.
like a little.
Yeah.
Is it a button that says raise your hand?
Yes, there is. There's a little hand, Fonzie.
Interesting.
Okay, so you guys know
you can tell I haven't been as much.
Total noob on the app. So
I still have my party hat, and I just learned that it was called a party hat because Jerry has his party hat right here, and my brother was like, dude, look at that. I was like, man, that's so cool.
Sounds good. So here we go. If you are in Facebook Live and tuning in now, awesome. You can see our faces. We know that you're matching again for the third time this week, Fonzie. I don't know why this keeps happening. But if you are on Clubhouse, go join the conversation there. We're about to open the floor. And here we go. So let's see what happens. Okay. So is it?
Nathan.
No. Nathan,
yeah,
what's up? Yeah, he has to unmute himself. I cannot unmute him.
Yeah,
all right,
Nathan.
Here we go.
So share with us, what are your thoughts on Clubhouse so far? We know you call it by a different name. I wonder if he's still there. Oh,
yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I think you guys probably call it Crack House because, like you said, you spent 24 hours straight on it.
A lot of hours. Yeah, I probably slept like 2. I've had an endless supply of Red Bull the last 2 days. So yeah, it's been intense.
Yeah, I mean, So I've been on, I think, about 10 days. So on the fifth day that I was on is when Ty Lopez came on, and like no one even knew it was him. It was just me and another guy, Ryan Allen Bell, and he had to actually put in his bio like, "No, I'm the real Ty Lopez."
Wow.
And we're like, "No," we're like, "You're lying," like, you don't know. He's just like, this is bull crap, And then it's him, and then he's like, "Yeah, ask me any questions you want," And he's like, "I'm just trying to figure out this app," and we're like, "What the heck?" And then all of a sudden, like once he put that in his bio, the room got flooded, and it was like, I think we were at 200, and then it went up to like 1,000, and then 1,500, and then Billie Jean jumped in, and then he went off the rails and started talking some crazy nonsense. And yeah, but it's been a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of networking. And I mean, you're getting in front of people that you more than likely will never get to get in front of in a room ever.
Yeah, that's amazing, Nathan. Thank you for sharing. And, I think that goes along with what we were saying about the egos. Like, there's no ego in these rooms, and these people are willing to come and share literally all their knowledge, man. And it's absolutely amazing that, the rooms are open right now to that extent, that anybody wants to come in and actually help and give. That I think that is so valuable. So thank you so much for sharing your experience, Nathan. I'm curious, where do you see the app going, and where do you see yourself going with this app?
Such a good question, Fonzie.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I think it's just going to keep growing. I think it's still like in the beta stages. I mean, the fact that when Ty Lopez was talking, he's like, you know what, I'm going to find these owners and I'm going to invest in it. So if he's going to invest in it, there's a lot of people that are going to invest in it. It's starting to gain traction. I mean, the other day we already saw, Instagram implement rooms like right away after this was out. So, Zuck's getting the message, and he's like, this is something that's probably going to stay. And, a lot of people are using it, like you guys right now, using it for Q&As for podcasts. I just think it's another way to keep engagement with your audience and get to really know your listener.
Yeah, absolutely. So valuable, a lot of things. And yesterday I was in a room with Grant Cardone, and I think these couple guys that have built a page of resources of Clubhouse, and they were explaining to him how the thing works. And I think when Ty Lopez put that in the description, what it does is people search. The bios are searchable, which is so powerful, right? So at an SEO level, I think Damon here in the room, SEO expert, I would love to hear his opinion on this, because it now creates a whole new opportunity on copywriting, how we can do this. And we've heard of people, charging money to actually create these bios for people to be, discovered on the app, which has been insane. So next in line, Brill. What's up, man? Brill.
Let's go, Brill.
This is so exciting to have you here, man. We connected. By the way, thank you, Nathan, for those amazing comments.
Yep.
But with Brill, we connected through our 45 live stories. He's doing amazing things as well, publishing and growing his business, and it has been an incredible support and experience just getting to know him. So, dude, what are your thoughts on the app? What's up?
What's up, guys? I love this. So yeah, you know what? This is going to be a huge game changer. In the last, I finally got my little party hat removed recently. I've only been on here like 8 days or so, and there's just massive value. And like Nathan mentioned, this is going to be a place where, in this COVID era, where you can't go to a seminar, you can't go to a hotel like you used to be able to go listen to these experts. This is the new way to get in front of people. I mean, people are investing in Clubhouse. Like, there's investing club rooms where everyone gets together and masterminds and talks about certain investment projects, and they're selling each other on it. Now, one of the things that I fear that's going to happen with Clubhouse is that the authenticity and people's just genuine self is going to disappear. There's so much value that's being given here, but it's eventually going to be very pitchy, just like it is when someone slides into your DMs in Instagram and in Facebook, your unsolicited, hey, I think I can serve you, IG message. I think it's going to start happening here, where people will start to come on as a speaker and start speaking, and then they'll go and send. Like, I've already had a couple DMs in my Instagram where they're like, "Okay, I think I can serve you. Like, what's your niche? What's your space? And what are you doing?" And so that's kind of the downside of it, where some of the value pack, the opportunity to just serve people in a genuine level is going to disappear. And just to quote somebody in general, like, and I know you and I both follow George Bryant. I mean, like, relationships beat algorithms, like George Bryant's whole message, right?
Yeah.
Like, I feel like doing that here can really set you apart from everybody else. And that's really what it comes down to, is the rooms that I see that succeed the most are where successful entrepreneurs who know what it's like to start from the beginning are just there to genuinely help other entrepreneurs, especially during this COVID era.
Yeah,
absolutely. Dude, thank you so much, bro. I love that. And, I have a few maybe challenging ideas here for you. Cause right. You said Clubhouse, Matt,
Fonzie loves to challenge you. Try living with him.
Challenge
and
ideas.
Working with him.
They're fun, but really, like, I agree to an extent where I think it might become, there's that fear that it might become pitchy and people start, using it as in a sense, a prospecting tool, which in a way, don't get me wrong, I think it's a tool to get you connected to the right people as well. But now what I'm asking you is, don't you think the same app and the same ecosystem of people that is coming to use Clubhouse, and that they know it is valuable because of the value you're delivering to people and not because of your pitching or using it as a lead generation source? Don't you think the same ecosystem is going to take advantage of removing those people of the app and then let it live as this awesome, valuable, ecosystem?
I definitely agree with that. It's kind of like a double-edged sword, like they both have to equally live with each other so that there's opportunity for all. At the end of the day, you don't have to, like, I'm going to eat my own words here, but like, you don't have to be pitchy in order to sell yourself either. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like you guys get so much, I'm sure you guys get so much traffic into your business from providing value I've gotten so much value from you guys, right? And like some of your other customers. And so I think it's kind of a double-edged sword.
Yeah. Dude, thank you for those thoughts. It's about the quality of the conversations, right? At the end of the day, it's a connection to the relationships. That's how, us at least have been able to develop the business and the show at all. Like just having these guests and having meaningful conversations, not only inside of the show, but also outside and after. And the community aspect is huge, right? So let's not lose that human degree of interaction that this app can potentially create, right?
Yeah, and Brill, I want to add something there to what you say, right? Because this is actually a tweet that I did a few hours ago today. I said, transparency and access to information has changed the marketing game. Spending money can give you the edge when it comes to client acquisition, but it can also accelerate the rate at which people lose trust in your brand, right? Mm-hmm. And yes, in Clubhouse, there's no money right now, but is where the speed of the game is at right now, because everybody's coming here and they're all delivering value. So talking in the sense of, becoming, let's put it, a toxic platform in a sense, I think Clubhouse is going to help people accelerate the client acquisition, but the same as money is going to play the same role. I think it is also going to accelerate the rate at which people either lose or gain trust on someone.
Yeah. Oh, so good, Fonzie. You're so wise.
I agree so much with that. I agree so much with that, Fonzie. I'm actually glad you mentioned that because I read someone, I can't remember who it was that posted this, but they were like, I feel like I've gained so much more respect for Tai Lopez. And I've always thought highly, I never had any negative thoughts of Tai Lopez, but I know that there's other people out there that have negative thoughts on Tai Lopez. But like when he came on and how he spoke, I feel like people are finally, it's like rekindling that human connection, because so many people jump onto Facebook and to Instagram and they just see their profiles and they immediately just get enamored with, oh, they have such an amazing life and they're probably a douche or they're probably something that's like, not a kind word. And then when you jump on Clubhouse, everyone is just human.
Absolutely.
Everyone is just so nice and genuine, and they're genuinely listening to the questions that you have, and they're giving you answers. It's free coaching. And
he can't depend on girls with, big tips to attract people. He has to give out content because this is all audio, baby.
Yes,
yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Let's go. All right. Awesome. By the way, are you guys listening the audio, right? Is that coming through? The audio, the sounds? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. Okay.
Fire noise.
So fun. Dude, Brill, thank you so much for
Thank you,
this.
Brill. Wait, sorry. And thank you, Gina, because that comment is 100% true. And let's discuss that when we get to you. This is going to be amazing.
I know. So for those that are jumping in right now, we're obviously going through some questions, comments, and stuff like that. And just Damon, what's up, man? How's it going? We are honored to have you here as your longest time on the app so far.
The SEO legend itself.
My beard and myself. Thank you for the privilege of being.
My question to you, Damon, is: have you already started playing the guitar?
No, you know what? It's in the exact same spot and still hasn't been touched.
It's okay. Fonzi's guitar is the same way. So you guys have that in common. Awesome beards and do not know how to play the guitar. Sweet. Dude, Damon, the SEO king. I mean, how we connected was through Josh. It was an incredible connection. We never saw it coming. And what an incredible episode that we had with you. So tell us a little bit about your thoughts. You told us earlier behind the scenes that this might not be, or it might be the shiny object. But, after this conversation, what are your thoughts?
So it's a shiny object for me. Like, it's not that I don't see the value in it, and I see a ton of people making gains on it and using it in a way that benefits them. For me, I don't want to drown in opportunities, so I don't want to take on another thing. Like, I'll probably just jump in here and there on conversations like this that I enjoy, but I'm not going to take it on as a full strategy because I don't want to break I don't want to fix what isn't broken, and I'm just going to keep my head down and stay in my lane with what works, and that's always done well for me.
Oh, so good.
Man, that is such a valuable point to make, because we don't necessarily always need to run to what is the shiny object, right? And we have noticed, especially for us this year, focus has been huge. Well, in 2020 has been huge.
Well, in 2021
and,
too. What's
yeah, and Damon, that is exactly what I'm hearing from you, is that you are deciding, right? You're choosing to be focused in what is working already for you and has been working, right? It's proven and tested that it has been working for your business. So you don't want to add more because you know your capacity, you know your team's capacity, and therefore all you need to do is execute on it. So, man, I really commend you for that.
Yeah, it's in my mind, I don't want to trade trade for sure money for maybe money. So I think Clubhouse is super valuable for a lot of people. And then I agree with what Louis was saying earlier about the ecosystem will probably filter itself out. I think it's going to be a bit of an echo chamber where on the high level rooms, it'll filter itself out. The people that are not really at that level or fakes or just there for pitching. But then it's going to be an echo chamber for the people that are more vulnerable and just want to hear whatever they want to hear. And then they're going to go find those rooms that they can reinforce whatever their thought processes are. So it's going to be a mix of everything. And I think it was Brill that was saying it'll eventually become pitchy and it totally will, and saturated, and value will become diluted, but it's still in its infancy. It'll just become like any other platform. I mean, everybody's still on Facebook, but it's a total sales pitch. LinkedIn's growing, but it's a total sales pitch. So you have to figure out how to use it best for, like, there's no one right answer. Like, is it good or is it bad? You just got to have to figure out how to leverage it for what works best for you.
Yeah. And, I see that with social media. It's like the pitchiness of social media. Like, I feel it's going to happen regardless of the social media. The place where I see that doesn't happen is YouTube, right? Search engines where people is looking for that sort of information. And I love what you said, Damon, about people are going to go into the rooms that are just going to reinforce what they already believe.
Yeah.
And for those listening, I think it's very important for us to go into rooms that not necessarily, align with what we believe, because it's going to present challenging ideas. It's going to actually test our beliefs. And I think that actually helps us grow as well.
Yeah, I personally think, being a part of conversations with people that have been through the moment that you're living right now and past it, and just like learn through their conversations, their experience. Like yesterday, for example, last night, we were invited by Monica Turner to a relationship room, and we're like, we have nothing to do with this, right?
Well, you do. You're married.
I know, but at the time, the way that we connected with her was totally different, right? And we stayed and we listened, and then all of a sudden we're asking questions next to her, next to Bart Miller, right? And they're giving you an amazing insight. I'm like, bro, wow, I think I was good. Now I have work to do there in that area of my life, and was so valuable. And I immediately implemented that at home, and it was wonderful, and it was incredible, and I got results in my private life, right? So I think that's a valuable part of having those conversations as well. So, dude, Damon, thank you so much for coming on and hanging out with us.
Anything that we might have missed out, Damon?
Maybe one last comment is one thing that I've noticed in my limited use, like I said, I only can jump on here and there, is that I already see it becoming kind of cliquey, where there's a lot of rooms where it's a lot of respected people. But then in other rooms, it's like the same group of people that kind of lean on each other to cross promote their products. And so if you're not familiar with how marketers kind of run behind the scenes, you'll start to see these same cliques of these falsely presented value rooms where really it's just to send them down the funnel. And so that's been kind of interesting and honestly kind of frustrating from my position, because I know the Lewises are familiar with kind of my business model, and it's just give away free advice and just help people out when you can, and it'll pay itself back later. And so it's hard to go into some of these rooms where I want to raise my hand and I want to say, hey, I want to help out, but it's so cliquey that you can't be like, no, really, I just want to help out, because then it looks like the opposite. It's like, oh, well, we can't let him speak because now he's going to come in and do a sales pitch, because they're already self-defensive because they know that's their approach. So I've already noticed like this huge click kind of approach growing within it, and who cross promotes who and who has discussions with who. So that's one of the downsides that I've just observed lately.
Yeah. Wow, dude. Thanks for the observations. It's great. I mean, it seems like you've been on here for like a week straight, just saying. So
this is legit the longest I've been on. I think before this, the longest was about 4 minutes.
Let's go. So honored.
Yeah.
Damon, you know that you hold a special place in our heart, obviously, with all the value that you provided. By the way, for those who don't know, the expert in SEO, he has an amazing book called Outranked. Right? Did I get it right, Damon?
Yeah.
I got it right. Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. And we were super surprised when we got that in the mail, and it's been incredible. So, dude, thank you so much.
If you have any SEO needs or you need to learn about SEO, Damon is the guy for sure.
Yeah. Gina, what's up, girl? We're so honored to have you in the room today. So energy just tripled or quadrupled. Yes, so good.
Big time listener, big time fan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gina.
Appreciate the kind words. What's up? What are your thoughts on the app? Have you been hanging out a ton? Have you been just like dropping in? What's up?
I have spent several days, hours, weeks of my life on this app, and I absolutely adore it. But I think a lot of entrepreneurs obviously struggle with the shiny object syndrome, but they also kind of struggle with discipline, because that goes hand in hand.
Yes.
So I've been being really disciplined with it, and I built it into like my routine. So anytime, I'm doing trivial stuff where I maybe would listen to, music or a podcast, where I pick and choose what I want to listen to, Clubhouse is more of like a mixed bag. So when I'm like making tea in the morning, or, going for my walk, or, working out, I'm always popping it in. So I'm consuming more information. I found that it's really leveling me up, but like not even just because I'm learning stuff, but also from the aspect of customer research. So I'm like getting a lot of understanding like my pain points, because if you guys don't know, I'm like restarting my whole life over again, and it's a blast. And so I'm like really diving in deep, and I'm going into rooms where my ideal customers are hanging out, but like I'm hearing what they're asking the experts, like what are they stuck on, so I know like what to address. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah,
wow.
absolutely.
So I think You brought up a point, very like interesting point that
two very interesting points.
like 3, 4, 5. All of it was super interesting. But the one I want to highlight here is if you are out there providing a service, for example, or even a product, right? What you said, go and listen to the questions that are being asked, and then you can go back and create content around that, right? Or help people around it, right? And it's not necessarily sending people through a funnel, but really help them, right? Like we had this conversation with Chris Doe last week. And if you guys don't know Chris Doe, he's 1 million subscribers on YouTube, has an amazing platform called The Future.
He's one of my all-time favorite creators for sure.
Yeah, Fonzie was definitely fangirling big time. He couldn't ask a smart question because he was fangirling so bad. No, I'm kidding. It was so good. But one of the things that he was saying is like, change your word from selling to helping, right? And from this room, I assure you, Nathan, we've heard great feedback also from people that work with you. Brill, what you've been doing in the conversation, same thing. Damon, your business model is that, right? And Gina, we know you for sure. And if somebody is in the audience right now and they want to collaborate and add some ideas to this, great. Come on, raise your hand and let's be a part of the conversation. So that part of market research, like how can I help my customer better, is so important. So thank you for bringing that up, Gina.
I love that. Yeah. Right. I think that marketing it's a game of listening. At the end of the day, you are consistently listening to the feedback of the people you want to serve. And then, okay, how can I solve these problems for them? And the other thing that I think is key is actually put it on the schedule, like you said. But like it's so important. Don't get lost in the hype or in the shiny object, right? Like Damon is saying. But let's actually be consistent. Let's put a routine around it. Every day at 5, or maybe I'm gonna allow myself an hour or 2 of my day to go into Clubhouse, right? If you have the capacity to do so. Yeah. So thank you for sharing that, because I think a lot of people are on not much structure around it. Like my brother here, that he'll stay until late, and then he's recurring to Red Bulls and all that stuff, which is not too healthy.
Hey, you had 2 Red Bulls in the last 2 days. So just saying.
Damn, you threw me under the bus. Yeah, but it's okay.
The tank, the whole like traffic I sent you your way.
The point is, guys, Gina, I love that. We need to put it on the schedule, like any other activity that we have in our business.
Yeah, absolutely. And Fonzie, go ahead, Gina. Sorry.
No, just like even like little things, like when you're like going to the bathroom or like brushing your teeth. Like I always just log in for a little bit, and I'm just like taking notes all the time. And I try to pick rooms, because I was talking to my girlfriend, and she was like, I just like don't really care about any of these rooms. And I'm like, all right, but start looking at the people in them. So I go into a room based on the humans that I see in there, or someone that I'm following. Sometimes because like it's a clickbaity title and I love it, but usually I'm like there to follow the people, because I know Myron and actually Dan Henry. They're dropping gold all the time. Yes. So like I put those alerts on, and I'm following the people who go in those rooms.
Yeah, that's right. I think if I use Clubhouse while I'm brushing my teeth, I'll be brushing my teeth the entire day. So
your dentist will be so impressed.
I'm going to do an article, a case study on how much time is spent on the toilet while listening to Clubhouse.
Yes, please. Yes. Brilliant.
That's so true, because this year, that's one of my goals this year. This year is I need to have more structure. Like I've already had some structure, and when my wife listens to this, she'll probably call me out on it. But this year it's simply making sure that I'm setting the time for the appropriate things that I'm going to allow in my life. I'm making sure that it actually serves me, and actually doing more of what Fonzie said, where I'm setting more time to just spend by myself. So like I have a lake close to my house, and I love to go to my lake. I posted it in my stories if you guys saw it, but I love to go to this lake and just sit still and just hang out.
That's awesome.
Because you get the most clarity when nothing is going on around you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, one of the things that I've noticed, right, like personally was, yesterday was a crazy day personally for me, right? Like we just moved to a new place. My wife goes like, hey, we got to go pick up this couch. I have to drive 40 minutes to this place. I'm like, okay, sweet. This is going to be amazing. I'm going to be on Clubhouse for 40 minutes, right? So we jump on. We're on this room with amazing Marley, with Dan, with Don Mamone. And it was so awesome to have that conversation. And then I get there and then I have to drive back. So now 40 minutes back. And then I do that twice because I missed a bunch of stuff. But then when I got back home, after the entire day of being on Clubhouse, collaborating here, my head was about to explode, and I felt so heavy, right? And I was like, wow, I need to learn how to listen also to my body and make sure that this is not something that's taking over, because productivity also work with the agency, with the team, kind of dropped in the last 2 days. So that has been pretty interesting to experience. So, keep in mind, right? Like it's if we're there to test it, and FONZI has the 1% theory, right, that you learn from Altucher, and we're applying it to our time now. And we're jumping on. By the way, welcome, Monica. What's up? How's it going? We're discussing, and we're throwing you into the mix here. For those who heard the story earlier about the room that we were last night, here's Monica. Here's the MVP that invited us to that room and that meaningful conversation about relationships. Monica, we're kind of recording a live episode here of Content's Profit. Nathan Brill, Damon, Gina have been amazing at collaborating and giving some ideas. What's up?
Awesome. How are you? I saw that you pinged me in the room. I got here as fast as I could.
We just threw you under the bus, big time. I'm sorry.
We literally just threw you under the bus, Monica, but it's a pleasure to have you here. And the question we've been asking everybody is, what are their thoughts on Clubhouse so far? And then what are your thoughts on where Clubhouse is going to go as an app? And how are you planning to use Clubhouse if you're planning to use it in the future?
Are you asking me those very difficult questions right now as I just popped in the room?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is a test for the live episode that we're gonna have with you either next week or the week after. So just saying, honestly, you don't have to answer, but if you do want to answer, go ahead. What we were saying here is what, for example, we jumped on that room with you last night, and it was about a topic that we were not familiar with, or we were planning on jumping on and participating, and the information that was shared there and the advice that was shared there was so meaningful. And whoa, somebody's calling. Okay. And it was so meaningful because and I actually came back home and I applied some of the things that I got from there in the conversation that I had that night with Katie, and it worked, and it was amazing. So we're talking about the impact and the thing, and just making sure that we're being accountable with the time. Gina brought up a really good point. Damon's going to write an article about Clubhouse time spent while in the bathroom, which is awesome. By the way, Damon's SEO king. Anyways,
Thank you.
I'm rambling about like crazy. So if you want to answer, go ahead. If not, we're just going to wait in awkward silence.
No pressure. Okay. Well, I actually think the opportunities on Clubhouse are amazing. I've been able to talk to some incredibly successful entrepreneurs here on Clubhouse, and I think it's really expanded even my my hopes for even the program that I'm creating. I think Clubhouse gives you kind of unprecedented access to mentors, to people who are successful, to be able to ask questions, kind of see behind the curtain. I think it's really cool, but I also think that Clubhouse has the potential to be very, very damaging if not moderated in the right way. So like you said, I think it's going to be really important to set appropriate boundaries around the time that you spend here. Because for example, all day I've been trying to write my webinar script, and it would be very easily for me to be like, oh, this is hard, and then redirect my attention and waste several hours on Clubhouse, right? So I think that as long as we're getting the most important things done, then I think Clubhouse will be a very useful tool for kind of expanding our possibilities and making really incredible connections and getting really awesome coaching from people who have kind of been where we're looking to go. But I think that if we don't set appropriate boundaries around it, it can, I told my husband, I'm like, well, this is either going to blow up my business or it's going to destroy my life, and I'm not sure which one yet. So I think that if you create those boundaries and if you remain in the driver's seat, I think it could be a really valuable tool. But if you don't, it could definitely destroy your life.
Yeah, I think those are some great points. Actually, earlier today, I was reading this tweet from, his name is Naval Ravitak. I think that's his name. He was the founder of Angel List for private equity, right? And he was saying that social media is a force multiplier. He says this is a little dark, but it says for mass hysteria and mass greed, right? And I think it's a force multiplier for positives as well. And it depends on how people decide to use it. And I think it goes like just, parallel to what you're saying, Monica, which right now it's too early to determine where is exactly going Clubhouse. But relating to what Brill said, right? Brill was saying that he sees this, that it has the possibility of turning a little toxic, where people, are just trying to pitch everywhere. And then we discuss a little bit about the ecosystem, how people that actually want Clubhouse to be a platform of value, they're going to take care of the people that are making the platform pitchy, right? And toxic. Because now I think those people are going to start isolating the other ones, and status, reputation, egos, whatever you want to call it, are going to go out the window, because now in here you have access to it. I think it's very transparent, the fact that you can just have that conversation one-on-one with someone. So thank you for sharing that, Monica. I think it's very important that we keep that in our heads. Are we actually using this platform for not only the better of other people, but for us as well?
Yeah, and gong moment in honor of everybody here, which has been incredible. And
I think Gina wanted to say something.
Yeah, go ahead, Gina. Sorry.
I just wanted to say, so we were talking about like the future of Clubhouse, and I was in a room this morning while I was, making breakfast. And they said that they think that, forgive me for the name because I'm not sure. Are they like houses? Are they like a
clubs.
club?
The
Pod?
clubs.
House?
Club.
Okay, clubs. Okay. So they're thinking, or there's like word on the street, that they're going to monetize them, or only influencers are going to have them. But then people who already have them will get grandfathered in. You have to like host a room 3 days in a row to get one. I'm not sure about that. If anyone can clarify.
So, according to the people that I was in the room with yesterday that were explaining all the rules, and Nathan, maybe you can chime in here. You are literally the expert who saved this stream of being flagged. But what I heard was clubs are open. People can jump in there, and basically is a community that you have access to, where it's kind of like a little private community. So that's the extent of it. I haven't heard any other rumors about monetizing it. The only thing that I heard about monetizing or sponsoring those clubs is basically brands coming in, and people in the club agree to put the logo of the brand on their picture, and then they have a conversation around that, or brands creating their own rooms in each verticals. For example, Red Bull talking about skaters or surfers, and created those verticals on conversations around those topics sponsored by the brand, right? So that's the conversation I've heard about. I'm not sure about if they're actually going to limit the access to those rooms or anything else. So I don't know, Nathan, I know that you've been in here for quite a while. Is there anything else that you've heard around, or Brill or Damon, if you guys want to chime in, Monica too?
So one of the things that I noticed is I connected with someone. His name is T. Drew. He has a club called the Modern Man Club, and I think he's got like over 800 other men. There's some women in there. But one of the beautiful things that I have enjoyed about that club is it's just a whole bunch of other people that are like-minded in the same space that you're in. And some may be more successful than you are, and others are probably starting off or are intermediate. And it's like a mentorship kind of a club. And it's one of the things that I've enjoyed of Clubhouse is rekindling that human connection. It's not being able to be in the same room with someone else, but being in close proximity, at least virtually, with other like-minded individuals that can help you along your path, kind of like what Monica was saying. And so I see clubs kind of being the Clubhouse version of Facebook groups, but being hyper-focused in a specific category.
Yeah.
I love that. You have to be invited to make a club, though, right?
Yeah, you do have to
Clubhouse
be invited
to invite you.
Right, and I was looking to see how I can make a club, and it basically came down to you have to be participating and have so many followers in order to be invited to have a club of your own.
Okay, because I heard you had to host a room 3 days in a row, so I wasn't sure.
You do.
Yeah, so FONZI, let's host room 3 days in a row. That's going to take over the weekend.
Yeah, I just thought that it could be kind
The
of...
room doesn't doesn't have to be ongoing for 3 days, right? You just have to have a room like Monday, a room Tuesday, and a room Wednesday. Is that what you mean?
3 consecutive days, yeah.
That's amazing.
Not the whole day.
Yeah.
Not 24/7.
24/7 marathon. Here we go.
There's some rooms that have been on for like 14 days, which is insane. I don't know.
Can we talk about the Shark Tank room? Because that is literally changing lives. And I know I was talking about discipline and like being structured with this, but like when the Shark Tank room is on, I am not sleeping.
Yeah,
awesome.
It has been pretty incredible to see how, you know, people can connect with people that in the regular day-to-day are not able to. And I personally saw a case where like this lady had a nonprofit and she was doing the ask on how she could reach out to more people in Dallas. And they had a guy that had immediate connection to the Cowboys. And then they connected them with the president of the Chamber of Commerce. And it was incredible to see that. And then another host jumped in with $20,000 immediately there. And this lady was literally in tears because of the help that was done there. So I really, really hope these rooms like that continue on. I'm not sure if this is like a thing that because of the fire that it caught in the last, you know, few weeks, it stays like that. But if it's something regular, that will be a game changer for a lot of people to be involved in that and have access to it.
I would literally just tune in for that. Like, that's all I need.
That's amazing.
So it's so heartwarming. I love it. There was a story with a 17-year-old, and because of the terms and conditions of Clubhouse, you have to be 18, I believe. So she got her mom to create a Clubhouse account, and then she went on there, and then she's like, "Hi, I would like to let my client speak," but it was really just her daughter. And Grant Cardone was like, "Send me the lemonade. I'm gonna post it on my story." And like everyone was buying 17 like gallons of lemonade because she was 17, and like the opportunities and everything that people were giving her, they were both crying. It was like so beautiful.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I do think that's really incredible. Like that is the power of Clubhouse that I was talking about. But I think, like going back to what you said, Luis, is it's a natural accelerator. So if you, I think that if your intentionality with it is good, it will magnify that. And the opposite is also true. Exactly like money, right? I mean, money is just a great magnifier. And I think Clubhouse is the opportunity for people to get these really, really great opportunities. But if you're going in the right direction, then it will magnify that. And if you are going in the wrong direction, I think it will magnify that.
Absolutely. Thank you
it's great.
Oh, sorry, Brill. Go ahead.
No, sorry. What Monica was saying is like, money will only, like what you're talking about is money will only amplify the person that you are. So if you're not a nice person, it's only going to amplify that. But if you're a good person, then it will amplify that side of you. And I've seen that in Clubhouse, and it's one of the beautiful things that I enjoy about it.
Absolutely. That was a huge false belief that we actually had to surpass, because, you know, where we come from, money wasn't... it was a little bit of a taboo topic for many years, right?
For the whole family.
For the whole family.
Yeah.
And the fact that we had to overcome, right? Like, you hear a lot of times like, oh yeah, those that have money, they're not good people and stuff. And once we realized that it was an accelerator, right? For if people are bad, they're just going to be bad with money. And there's people that are good. And when they get money, they're going to be even better, right? And once we finally understood that was a huge stepping stone, I think, for us in the business. And I think the voice acts in the same way. The spoken word, when the audience is so big, like here in Clubhouse, it has the same exact effect as money does.
Yeah, Nathan, I thought you wanted us to mention or comment.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, so what I've also found is like philanthropy. So when I was an undergrad, like I did a lot of things with the veteran community, and since I've been out of undergrad school, it's been a lot harder to get involved in those little communities and things like that. So I've been able to find those here. And then also about the Latin community, you know, because I don't know, we don't have our Oprah per se. So I've definitely been involved in some of those. And, you know, like I didn't know Manny was Latin, you know, and stuff like that. From the Shark Tank. And it's like, I would definitely love to know more of his stories to like figure out that, and somehow maybe raise him to be our Oprah.
Yeah, I think a big element here too is like what Fonzie said about the voice and the power of the voice is that people are gonna realize if you are actually good or if you're not that good, right? And so if you tend to be good and legit provide good value and good information and connection, I think people are gonna levitate to you, right? And then if you do not show that, either you're not on the app or people are gonna show that. So
and let me tell you, Monica, yesterday's room that you were hosting on relationships and marriage. Let me tell you, I'm not married.
Muy bueno.
I'm not married, but I have a girlfriend, and now I was like, Mandy, you need to get on Clubhouse right now, and you need to join this room because what I'm listening, it is gold, and it's going to take a relationship to the next level. That's so right. I think those are the type of groups. It's just so transparent, and it was actually a lot of fun, too. I was not expecting it to be such an entertaining conversation. I mean, Bart made it pretty funny, but at the same time, it was very, very serious topic. Yeah. So thank you for hosting rooms like that, Monica. I appreciate it.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that too. And I think by hosting rooms like that and having people like you who are successful at business, and I'm certain that you want to be massively successful and have a significant other with you on the journey, right? So even if you're not married, I mean, the idea of getting to the top of that mountain and have somebody standing there next to you, enjoying that view with you, I feel like is a desirable thing. And being and hosting those rooms and seeing the entrepreneurs who truly are, growing and scaling and wanting to do that with their partners, it has expanded my reach and my opportunity, like the possibilities that I'm seeing with this, because it is so important.
Yes. So good. And awesome, guys. Thank you so much. I think we're coming down the hour. We're actually going to cut off the official episode here. We're going to hang out a little bit more if you guys want behind the scenes and just continue the conversation. But before we leave, I want to ask you, how can you guys are going to like legit just plan our content strategy for the next year or so. How do you see Constant's Profit adapting to the platform? As we have this conversation, some ideas have come to mind. One has been, hey, let's host a community episode where, we can come on and we introduce a topic and then let's everybody, chime in, and we might have a group of 6 or 5 or 7 or 100, who knows? And then that gets out into the world, which is awesome. We love hearing from people.
Another way that we've kind of thought about doing this, we talked about at the beginning, was doing the live recording with the guest and then have a very specific Q&A on Clubhouse. So we would log out of all the other live platforms that we stream to, and we only stay in Clubhouse doing that. Sorry. Oh, I got sentimental.
He got emotional, got emotional.
Doing that Q&A, which I think will be extremely valuable for a lot of people, because Jerry mentioned, he was here before, he said, when I'm listening to podcasts, sometimes questions arise that I cannot have answered immediately. So I think facilitating that Q&A after will be pretty good.
And then the third one, it's bring back guests that have been on the show to talk about specific highlights of their respective episodes and discuss them and bring people on and ask questions. So I see some mic claps in there going on. Sweet. Awesome. So what do you guys think? What do you guys have any other ideas? How should we implement this thing?
I love that idea. I think I would even want to hear the recording of someone asking the guest. Like if I was listening to your podcast, like post, whatever. Question legally, are you allowed to record like, because you're like recording and also streaming it. So I guess that goes, right? That's fine.
I think
you just have to announce it. You have to announce in your room that you're going to be recording, and everyone must have that consent that if you're in here and recording, then you're allowed to. But you can't just record without people knowing that you're recording.
Cool.
I think Monica's the only one that we threw under the bus. So Monica, we need to ask for your consent. Is it okay if you show up in our Content is Profit episode?
I guess the silence means no.
No answer.
No, I started
talking and realized I hadn't unmuted. I was saying, go for it, proliferate away. I love the concept of what you guys are doing, and I would love to learn how to like be everywhere all the time. So I think what you guys are doing awesome. So, yeah, proliferate away. You have my consent.
Thank you, Monica. I started sweating cold right there for a second.
I love the idea of hosting like a once a month kind of thing. You know, like once a month you have your community that's allowed into your world. You know, the exclusivity and building relationships and having people ask questions live, like what we're doing now, is amazing. And then the other one I absolutely support, where if there's a specific, you know, like Monica, for instance, you just did an episode with her, and she's an expert at relationships, and there's people that have all these amazing questions, is letting them know during the episode, hey, we're going to be hosting Q&A after this. Write down your questions because you're going to get an opportunity to ask our expert after this.
I love it.
Oh, thank you guys
Brill,
so much.
I love that idea.
Great idea.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
Monica.
and then what?
No, I was just going to say that's a fantastic idea. Like, I would love to figure out how to implement that. Like, every Monday when my episode airs or whatever, like hosting a Clubhouse room with that guest, you know, for people to listen to the episode, and then they can come and actually have access to the guest who is just on. That's amazing. That's such a great idea.
Yes, I
It's
guess.
like after the final rose. It's like an after the final rose or Talking Dead.
Sorry, Nathan. I totally did not understand any of what you said.
Oh, so after rose is like The Bachelor. After the rose they're giving out, it's an after show.
Yeah,
So it's like an after show.
Oh, it's so good.
That's a good idea. And I actually, thanks to that small segment of the conversation right now, an idea just popped into my head, which is, okay, how can we leverage, obviously, the platform and the guests and everybody, and instead of doing one Q&A per episode, what we do is we can bring all three guests that we interview in a single week and have all three in the platform that day.
Yes, do that. Yes.
Like mastermind.
Yeah,
Yep.
I like that
Little
too,
mastermind.
because then you're networking the guests together too. So there's definitely more of a pull to, you know, to show up. Because if you interview me in the same week you interview some other, you know, badass guests, I'm all in.
Yeah, absolutely. Leanne, what's up? Thank you for raising your hand. How's it going?
Oh, great. No, I joined at the right time. I've been thinking about how to integrate Clubhouse in my podcast. And so the last 2 minutes, that idea of like the episode after party, it's awesome because, yeah, it's just be on timing, I guess. So when you release it, and then how much time do you give to then promote the after party live session with your guest? So thanks for the value. Yeah, the 2 minutes worth of value. Just wanted to say that to all of you.
Incredible.
I love it. Thank you. Yeah, man, so many good ideas. We're going to have to cut this segment of the podcast right here. This is very juicy.
And to end the show, Jerry, we got you back from the mountains. I don't know if you have anything to add. We're about to close out the live episode, and we're going to leave the room open if you guys want to hang out a little bit more. But do you have any thoughts on the platform? How you doing? What's up? Just throw him under the bus.
Yeah.
Go ahead,
yeah,
Lee.
sorry, you cut out. Oh, sorry. I don't know if you were talking to me.
We are now. This is so exciting.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, I've been on Clubhouse for about a week now, and only in the last couple of days I realised why people were calling it like the crack cocaine app, because it's just so much fun on here. I'm learning a ton, and usually when I usually go out and run and exercise and listen to a podcast, but I'm not listening to podcasts anymore. I'm just jumping on Clubhouse calls, and sometimes with the intent of being on for 5 minutes, and then 2 hours later, you're still on it. Is anyone else finding that as well?
Yes. I think that has been the discussion. Yeah, Nathan, what's up?
I was going to say, especially for that Shark Tank room, like I can't get off that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It has been incredible. So, guys, thank you so much. What we're going to be doing is we're going to close out the live recording.
We're going to close the intro.
We're going to see you back in the room in just a second. So, thank you so much for tuning into the Content is Profit podcast. Go ahead and subscribe. Smash that subscribe button and follow us on social media at BIZBROS Co.
That is right. And if you find this episode impactful, which I am sure you did because it was a great conversation,
so
please
good.
don't forget to share it and leave a 5-star review. Thank you.
Bye, guys.